How's it going, guys? Welcome to Revistet. I have a very hot video for you, and that is covering what's going on the Ford Mustang groups, and that is trading in your Ford Mustang, where it's a GT, EcoBoost, whatever, any of your Ford Mustangs, the S550 chassis, trading it into Vroom for great deals. And they gave me, and I'll show you the numbers, they gave me about $45,000 for my Bullet. Not this one, this is the little replica, toy replica of it. But they gave me about $45,000, which is basically, it's owning the Bullet for free for the last 2 years. It's about $1,000. It's $2,000 less than I paid for it 2 years ago with 0 miles. Granted, my Bullet doesn't have many miles right now. I haven't really driven it with the pandemic much going on, so that's fine. But I wanna go through my experience. There's a lot of different videos. Some people have great success with Vroom. Other people have not had good success with Vroom. I want you guys to see my experience through my eyes and how I felt through the whole process. I guess I was gonna need another car regardless. So I was going to trade in the Bullet for a 2018 Audi S4, and I was gonna get some money back. I was gonna get about 6,500 bucks back. Granted, that did not happen because the trade fell through, and if you guys stick through to the rest of the video, you understand why I did not go with it and why I didn't feel confident proceeding with Vroom. So stick around and watch the video. So let's begin. And first I want to say why I thought about this move was going to be good for me. I wanted something that's going to be a little bit cheaper. Granted, Audi S4 is not a cheap car to maintain, but that's a different topic. I wanted something a little bit more cheaper when it comes to gas and wheels and tires and so on. So I was trying to trade in the Bullet and get some money back, which was gonna help me build up my emergency fund, if you want to call it that, or invested money. It just depends. So this is the short story of it. That's why I decided to maybe find out what Vroom can do for me, and if I can actually break even on my car, because cars do depreciate a lot, and I was avoiding this by maybe trading in my Mustang at this price. I was avoiding this and getting a car that was already depreciated. However, I will give you guys a breakdown of the timeline, what I did, how I did it, and if you guys don't know what Vroom is one of those online places where you can go buy a car online. There it is. I don't know how well you can see it, but you can go on their website, look at a car, buy the car, and basically never see a person, never test drive the car, nothing like that. They will just eventually deliver the car to your doorsteps or whatever you guys want to meet. You go pick up your car and you move on, or if you have a trade-in, they'll pick up your trade-in and they'll deliver the new car at the same time. However, there's a few issues that I'm going to discuss with you guys, at least what I found and what happened with my experience. So it all started April 7th, which is 5 days ago, not too long ago. Obviously, you know, when you're buying and selling car at the dealership, it takes 5 days, right? No, it actually doesn't. It should be almost the same day. However, this is a different process. It's an online process. So I got an estimate of my car on the 7th, which was, I believe, let me see. Yeah, the 7th was last Wednesday. So that's when I got the estimate. I'm going to put up the estimate somewhere on the screen. You guys are going to see it. The price was about $45,000, $45,500. So I was very excited when I got the estimate. I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep on this. I'm going to see what car, because I had a few ideas. I could get a much cheaper car and pocket more money. Or get a car that I would also enjoy and pocket some money. So I eventually stumbled across the car that I picked. Not a big deal, that was easy. So I decided April 8th to initiate the whole thing. So I filled up my application, if you want to call it whatever you call it, on their website. I set up how I was gonna, trade in and pay for everything. I put in my $500 down, and the $500 down is basically to reserve this car. It's obviously not showing reserved anymore because they refunded that money. I'm yet to get it back, but we'll see what happens. But the $500 was to reserve the car, which I put that down. I paid that, no problem. And I thought everything's gonna be fine. So that happened April 8th, early in the morning. So I was expecting to hear from a Vroom representative via phone call, via an email. I was expecting to hear something from them to let me know what the next step is. And I do live in Florida, so most of the stuff should be done electronically. The title's electronic, and I've read on their website, most of the stuff would have been done via PDF that's gonna be sent to you via an email. Well, I waited. The afternoon rolled around. I did not hear from them. Also, I read online that if they're gonna send you any paperwork, it's going to be overnight. So I was hoping the next day, April 9th, which at this point was Friday, I was hoping I was gonna get something. Not a call, not an email, Nothing has moved. My transaction was there, they took my 500 bucks, and that was it. So by this point, it's late afternoon Friday. I have not heard from an agent, a Vroom agent. I have not received anything from FedEx. I have not heard nothing. No phone calls, no emails, nothing. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'll give it a little bit more and we'll see what happens. So on Saturday, I get a call at, I believe it was like 9 a.m. I was not available. They gave me a call. So an agent did actually reach out to me. But all they said in the email is, let us know how we can help you to close the transaction of a purchase of an Audi S4. There was nothing about a trade-in. There was nothing about talking about the extra money that I should have been refunded. I don't know if refunded is the right thing, the capital gain, I guess, on the trade. But there was no mention for that. All it was is like, let us know how we can help you. At that point, I was kind of skeptical when it comes to Vroom. So I started doing a lot of research. And there's a lot of people that have been very successful, but what I found out was very unnerving. And because of the spam from like me reserving the car and me initiating the transaction from my side, and how long it's taking for them to actually reach out to me it meant like their trade-in and their purchase departments are not really working together, if that makes sense. I didn't think they're in sync. And from my research, what I found out was kind of affirming that fear. And at that point on Saturday morning, I thought about it a little bit more, and I was like, this could be actually really bad. Because after all the research, I found a lot of things that to me they didn't sit right. So I'm gonna kind of dive into those things right now, and I'm gonna start listing them one by one. So Saturday morning, the first thing I did Saturday morning is after the phone call, again, I was not available to answer the phone call. I got on the Better Business Bureau website and I wanted to see what Vroom's rating is, and I wanted to read some of the reviews, which were all recent. They were recent, 30 days from now, basically. So that's very close. It's too close for comfort. So I got on the Better Business Bureau website, and it comes to find out that Vroom's rating is actually revoked. They've done such a bad business that the Better Business Bureau has revoked their rating. So I started reading through a lot of the reviews that people left there. A lot of the reviews were very scary. Some people would wire the money would credit a different account, the money would go to a different account. Vroom would say, we don't know where the money is, we didn't receive it. Other people would send a cashier's check. Vroom would lose their check. If you actually guys go to the Fast Lane Car YouTube show, they actually, the guy there, the main host, I guess, I'm not sure what his name is, he actually sent a cashier check for about $63,000, I believe, $64,000, and Vroom lost that check. To me, that doesn't sit well with me. You're supposed to get a title, you're supposed to get a difference refund check from this company. In my case, that would have been, and they're losing incoming money, incoming revenue. So to me, that just doesn't sit right with a business. But I kept on reading. There's many more reviews. If you guys go on the Better Business Bureau website and type in Vroom, you guys are gonna see a lot of bad reviews. And I understand online you're most likely to see bad reviews, but also in the positive reviews, there are a few things that made me feel uneasy about Vroom. So for example, there is a portion of where Vroom always says you get one key with the car when you buy a car from them. However, I've seen a lot of YouTubers, there's a few YouTubers that sell cars, a lot of reviews where after you initiate a trade-in or a sale of a car, Vroom sends you an overnight paperwork, so you have to sign it, which is okay. But they ask for a key and they ask for your title of the car. Without you even receiving any money, you're already handing over the title and the keys to a business. A business that you don't even know, like they have a headquarters in Texas. Who knows? So you're already losing possession of your asset without getting any possession back. So you lose any leverage that you have with Vroom. That's it. It's game over for you, basically, if something happens. Also, their policies do say that in case of transportation mistake, because they do outsource their transportation company, or the people that transport the cars, they outsource those. In case they mess up the car, Vroom is not liable for any of that. So let's say you're expecting $35,000 check, and the transportation company crashes, your car gets damaged, Vroom is not going to be responsible. They're not going to give you a $35,000 check. That's it. You are basically without a car and you have no money. So to me, that seemed very sketchy. They basically, Vroom has no liability or nothing like that. You have no leverage against them if something happens. You are not covered in any type of way. And also, you're handing out keys and your title for I think it's called BOL, Bill of Lading or Loden. I'm not sure. I'm not saying this correctly. Excuse me about that. But that's how you get, and you have to present that to them afterwards. So I've seen, or not seen, but I read stories where people did not receive that from the loading company, and then they didn't have the car. Vroom said, we don't have your car as well because we have no confirmation it was ever picked up. And now what? What do? You have no recourse of action against Vroom at all because they basically wash off their hands. Which also leads back to the keys. Vroom is getting a key with your title, and also they're getting a key when the car is picked up. So why are they not giving out 2 keys? Why are they holding on the keys? So I did a little bit more research when it came to that. And Vroom is holding the extra key, or so I found out, is in case a person that finances the car through them cannot afford the payments, so Vroom can go pick up the car without an issue. To me, that is very sketchy. How can a company hold a key because they agreed to finance your purchase? That's all risk. But they want to be so risk adverse that they don't want to be responsible for any transportation failures. They want to have an extra key in case you can't pay your bills. Which, you guys, if you don't know, and I know this video is going to be a little bit longer than usual, but if you guys don't know, what a cashier check does is, let's say you have $5,000, I'm going to keep the numbers small. Let's say you have $5,000 in your bank, and the minute you issue the cashier check, you pay a fee for the issuance of the check, but also that $5,000 leaves your bank account, and it's basically the cashier check is at $5,000. Granted, it's written to Vroom. People can still fraudulently adjust that, and they can get that because this cashier check represents cash value, so they can just deposit it in any account. If that happens, if someone else gets your cashier check, and you have no recourse of action when it comes to that, there's no way for you to get your money back. You can put a stop payment, which is a 2% charge from the total amount of the check. So if you're paying a $30,000 car or through a cashier check, it's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be about $1,000 that it's going to be put as a bond over this check until the bank can put a stop payment and they can credit the money back, plus whatever fees for the stop payment you're getting charged, and so on. So it can really pile up if they can't find your money or if they can't find your cashier check. I've also read stories where, as I mentioned earlier in the video, people would send a wire and that will credit a different account. So, and the other problem is with sending a wire, you can recall the wire, but that's never going to happen because Vroom is never going to send the money back or agree to send the money back. So if you send the wire, you have nothing. So you don't have keys, you don't have title, you don't have money, and Vroom has all of that, and they can just say, oh, we didn't receive it. You can follow all the crumbs, they'll say they didn't receive it or they lost it. And to me, that's poor business practice. And at that point, I started feeling very uneasy about what I was about to do. And get rid of my Bullet 2 was kind of painful. I love that car. So I was just looking to just make extra money. But at that point, I made a decision to not proceed. And even if I did the extra step, which I shouldn't be doing, I'm the customer, but even if I did the extra step and called them and explained the issues, like, oh yeah, I got this trade-in, I put money on this car, it's for some reason I haven't gotten paperwork, they probably would have figured something out. But if I'm a buying customer, I should not go through that extra step. They should be the ones reaching out and making sure the transaction is completely done. So imagine if there's an issue, it takes forever. A lot of the reviews say it's taking days and days and days. So which leads me to the next step. And that was the refund of the $500 that I put down to reserve the Audi. I called them, which I got in touch with someone pretty quickly, which that wasn't a problem. But the first lady, she just got my name down, said she can't help me with that, and moved me to the next person quickly. Then I was on hold for about 15 minutes. They picked up the phone. Another guy, I can't remember his name, answered. I explained the situation. They actually, as a business, to me, is if you're being forwarded for these refunds and stuff like that, the customer service should find out why are you asking for this refund, what's going on, how they can improve the deal, what can they help you out with. They didn't care. They didn't care about bringing revenue to the company. They didn't care about anything. All they cared about is just get some information, give me a refund. That's it. To me, that's a poor business practice, but that's a different story. So he asked, he asked some information. He said he put me on hold, which was about 25 minutes with no sound. There was no background music, so nothing. So I was like, is my phone working? Am I still connected? Whatever. But eventually the gentleman came back. Very straightforward. He was like, hey, here's your refund. You get a receipt via your email, and that's it. It's gonna take a few days to hit your whatever you use, your bank, your credit card, whatever you use. So I waited for that email the whole day. So Saturday nothing came in, Sunday nothing came in. Today, which is Monday, what is it, the 12th, I finally got that receipt in my email that they're sending me the money, which is fine, not a big deal, but it was a semi-long process to get to that as well. So by now, with this point, you guys can see where I'm headed with this video. I don't want to speak bad against another business. That's not my intention. I just wanted to share my experience and some of my opinions. But I don't think I will be a comfortable customer doing business with Vroom, period. It's because of the reasons that I listed, and as a customer you want to feel secure, you want to feel safe, you want to feel that your funds are protected, and there's no indication of protection when you send money to them at all, or when you send a title or keys. What happens, I also thought about this, is what happens if I, sell my car or trade in my car to them, or sell my car, and this new car that I get in as a trade-in breaks down. Yes, you have 7 days, they'll come pick up the car, but you gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for the transportation fee, which is another $699 that you gotta pay. So you're out of luck. I read some reviews where Vroom has delivered scratched up cars, dinged up cars, dirty cars with like wrappers and hamburger wrappers inside the car that was never cleaned up. So cars that actually they did not pass inspection from whatever Vroom manager is, and he told them to clean them even extra, and it still got loaded and shipped off. So there's just a lot of issues, and there's a lot of better competitors like Carvana. They actually do have their little areas, whatever you want to call this, like little dealership they have here and there in like bigger cities. So you can actually go there and sell your car there, and they're giving a lot lesser offers for your car, which to me kind of makes sense. They're giving fair market value versus Vroom, which their prices, what they're giving you for your car is inflated. So I don't know why they're doing that. So I guess their inventory is low, but it's kind of sketchy. Are they really going to give you that? Because they can still adjust the car. So the reason I forgot to mention this. So when you sell your car, when you fully sell your car, you send them the car, and your check gets here within 1 to 3 days through FedEx. So by that time, when they receive the car, they still have time to look it over. If it gets damaged through transportation, let's say there's a scratch through transportation or something like that, it's gonna show up on their site, scratch, and then they're gonna charge you for that. So whatever they're offering you, it's gonna be reduced slowly. So if you don't take your pictures, if you don't do your due diligence, and if you don't actually have documentation to prove how the car left your possession, you're gonna be kind of screwed. So that's a lot of if scenarios, which again, it doesn't make me feel comfortable doing business with Vroom, period. So my final opinion is, I know they're giving crazy money for Mustangs right now. It's the S550 Mustang. Vroom is giving crazy money. I have no idea why. However, I will be very hesitant to actually sell my car to them outright unless I have another vehicle, and unless I have time to deal with any troubles that come around, any headaches, and also trading in. I don't know what I'm gonna get. I want to be able to see the car when I go pick it up, or when I choose the car, because yeah, the pictures are great, they give you all the imperfections, but how true are those? You can get a scratched up car and then you have no plan of action because they're already done with you. So with that being said, I hope this gives you a little bit of an input why I did what I did, and why I will never do it again. It was a learning experience for me, totally a learning experience. I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad I didn't go the next step, because that saved me a lot of headache. I'm glad I cut off the contact, or whatever you want to call it, with them as soon as possible when things didn't feel right. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you a little bit of an insight. I'm still seeing a lot of posts on the S550 groups on Facebook about the valuation they're getting for their cars. So if you guys like this video, please smash this like button, just smack it, punch it, whatever you want to do. Like the video, comment, do what you do, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.